sinned against God. Yes, God says so. And then says, but I won't cast them off for all that they've done. And if you think I will, then get out there and try to measure the heavens. That's how secure Israel is in God's sight. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the city shall be built unto the Lord, and the tower of Hananel, unto the gate of the corner, and the measuring line shall yet go forth, over against it upon the hill of Gareb, and shall compass about Goath. In other words, that land I've promised them. I'm going to build on it. They're going to come back to this land, and I'm going to build them up as a nation. And the whole valley, look, and the whole valley, verse 40, and the whole valley of the dead bodies. Where do we start?
Ezekiel 37.
Ezekiel 37, dry bones, all of the 12 tribes of Israel coming up out of the graves. And of all the ashes and all the fields of the brook of Kidron, unto the corner of the house gate toward the east, all of them shall be holy unto the Lord. It shall not be plucked up nor thrown down any more forever. Did he do that yet? No. Does the Bible say he's going to do it?
Yep.
Does the Bible say he's going to do it a lot of times? I remember sitting with David Morris and DJ Ward one time. I've told this story enough times, you can probably repeat it. But it was just before my ordination. And it was during my examination period. And David brought up Israel, because that's something that David and I and DJ all agree on. And David said to DJ, well, Jim's another one who sees a future for Israel. And I kind of chuckled and I said, yeah, because, how many times does God have to say something for it to be true? And DJ leaned forward and said, only once. He only had to say it once. But he said it over and over and over again. And the testimony of Paul after the cross is, those promises are still good. By the way, in the book of Galatians, he writes that the law that was given to Israel 430 years after the Abrahamic covenant, and the fact that the law came and left did not in any way annul the Abrahamic covenant. Paul argues for the continuity of the Abrahamic covenant into the new covenant. And that means all the promises made to Israel concurrent with the new covenant still have to come true if you want your new covenant promises to come true. Me personally, I want my new covenant promises to come true. I like the unconditionality of salvation by grace through faith. And if God can save a wretch like me, then I have no complaint if he wants to save Israel. As long as he saves me individually, he can save anybody else he wants. And if he wants all of national Israel because they've always been his people, you go for it, God. That's your prerogative. You go get them. Just don't forget about me.
Which Paul explicitly states in Romans 9:11, speaking about even to the Gentiles, you boast.
Yeah. Oh, he warns about the Gentiles boasting in Romans 11. Don't boast against the natural branches. Yeah. And yet there's all this boasting going on against the natural branches. My point is this. The biblical testimony is consistent. It doesn't change if you let the text speak. I'm arguing for the continuity and consistency of Scripture, and that the same God that you have every confidence and faith in is, in fact, eternally consistent and faithful, and you have every reason and every right to go to him and say, I trust you implicitly with my ever-living, never-dying soul, because I have no evidence that you've ever been anything except faithful. That's the God I believe in. And what kind of love is it if God says, I love you with an everlasting love, therefore with loving kindness have I drawn you? That's the beginning of Jeremiah 31, and it's said specifically to Israel. I have loved you with an everlasting love. And then later he goes, no, I didn't mean that. Never mind. I have no need for a God like that. I have no interest in a God like that. And if you can prove to me that's what God's like, I'm out of here like a shot, because I got a lot of sinning left to do if that's the God of the Bible. Because he's going to cast me into hell anyway, and he's completely capricious. So eat, drink, be merry. Tomorrow we die. I don't need a God who's inconsistent. I need one who's rigorous. Fortunately for me, that's the one I found in here.
On behalf of everyone at Grace Christian Assembly, we thank you for listening to this week's Salvation by Grace message. Remember to visit us on the internet at www.salvationbygrace.org. And we invite you to join us next time when we gather around the Word and study the sovereign grace of God.